Welcome back to the Party Wagon Podcast, everyone. This is another episode of We Have Amazing Friends, and we have a new friend that's joining us here today, Jonathan from Nostalgia Unboxed. I love you, Near Mad Hatter Reviews, but Jonathan is one of my second favorite, maybe going to the top favorite toy YouTube reviewers, so I'm super stoked that Steven pulled this one together. Welcome to the podcast, Jonathan. How you doing?
Hey, I am great, and thank you so much. That was a heck of an intro.
First take, baby.
Yeah, I am very happy to be here. Let me just start with that. And as far as Mad Hatter goes, that is the dude that I started watching for reviews before I ever got in here. We were talking right before this, and then Piper Customs, I was on doing that. I think, no, what was it? He was on Geek Dad Life,
yeah, with Jay. Yep.
Yes, and they were talking about stuff, and then I got in the chat or whatever, and I was like, oh yeah, you were like a stepping stone for me, and I think that he took it as in like, I'm only here because of you SOB. What I meant by that was like, he was like my drug, my gateway drug to get into doing all of this stuff. So like, he's who I started watching reviews was like, it's personality. Obviously that's what's working so well for him, right? Versus some of the we'll just say more established accounts out there where you don't really seem to get that. And he was just different. And I was like, man, this dude just sitting in his kitchen or whatever, like just, you know, giving us a good time. And so I just kept watching and kept watching. At that time I only had a couple Ninja Turtle movie figures. And then now, you know,
yeah, I've been watching it grow. I've been watching it grow since you started with the movie figures. I've always got movie figures just sitting around. Like, I've got so many of these damn little guys just kind of hanging out all over my office. That's awesome, man. Yeah, Jay does good content. You know, that's I actually found him through, I think Near was on an episode at one point, and I was like, oh, I'll check this guy out. And then I looked into it. In case you didn't know, Jay is like the very first like nerd podcaster. He used to do a podcast for Lost, and that when they used to discuss episodes, IGN did an article about it, and I was like, wait, like I read it after I'd already subbed to the channel, so he's like the guy that started like this whole nerd podcast stuff. At least that's who they give it to. I love that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, you know, honestly, Jonathan, as soon as I saw that video, I'm like, wow, this is awesome. That Auto T figure that you did. Well, let me rephrase that. The Auto T figure that you did, and that's why that blew my mind. It made me laugh, and it's great. I look for reviews like that. So with you and the Mad Hatter being honest about everything, it's just great. So appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
That is very kind of you. Thanks.
Dude,
yeah, and just for anybody that doesn't know, that was like, it was only good for like a week because then they actually started showing up. But the video was me faking like that I got them, right? Like we're all like, where the heck are these things? We should have had them by now. So I got it in, and then it's just me like holding nothing, and I'm like, can you close your eyes? It's like a mirage or whatever.
Yeah. The first one you shared of you like explaining how it worked is like that was shared through the groups like a pandemic. That shit was so funny. Everybody was sharing that, dying. Man,
yeah.
that was so good.
I honestly think NECA shipped it because I think they wanted to like say, oh look, we actually have him. Let me prove this guy wrong. So I think that's why they shipped him.
Yeah, I can't even keep track of how many times I made fun of Auto. I had so many little just like spoof ones. I had the marketing manager guy, Dick Whipper, Richard Whipper. You can call me Dick. And then the one where like Auto T is Ot Tot.
Dude,
it's like a self-aware.
Yeah.
Rip to Auto T. You haven't seen that? I think that was just an absolute stinker right off the bat.
Oh my god, yeah. And it was like more to come, plus kiosks, and never saw kiosks. We just got pieces of plastic.
Dude. My local Walmart's about that, which is really funny. The Walmarts that got the shelf tags, like the shelf to stock the Auto T tags on, never got the actual scannable tags, but the ones that didn't get them got the scannable tags. So like, it was like what the hell? And then Steven down there, he was like trying to collect them. He was like begging people in the group chat, "Hey, if you see
Yeah.
the Shredder one, can you just take it for me?" So I can, because he wanted it.
I did. Because I have OCD. I have to have everything complete. So if something's missing, it bothers the heck out of me.
Yeah.
So
Wow,
So if
what
it-
a mess that thing was, though.
yeah, completely.
I'm actually painting one right now. I'm using a contrast
Nice.
paint, as you can see. Contrast paint's awesome. It only covers like the red or covers the white,
Yeah.
but it doesn't touch the black, which is pretty neat. This is like just a test. I've been trying to mess around with it, so yeah, that's the only extra one I have. Shout out to Manny in the party wagon. He sent that to me just to do something with, so I'm hyped on that. But
Nice.
let's jump into it. Let's just talk about some shit. You know, there's been things
do it,
going
man.
on. I want to start off hot. This is Jonathan's suggestion. Let's talk about Holathon. We've talked about it so much, and I want what is. You want to start off with your hot take? How do you feel about it?
Well, I want to have like a conversation with someone about it, just like you tweet something. So,
Yeah.
I've seen, obviously this hits people differently, right? It's like,
All right, welcome back. We had some technical difficulties with our internet while we were asking Jonathan about his thoughts on Holathon. He started to tell us about it, and then someone forgot to pay the internet bill for me. So we're back. We're doing it again, same night. We just spent the past like 30 minutes trying to get this working again. So here we are. Back to what it was. We all like had a different Holathon experience that we kind of embraced, and we have different thoughts on it. And that's what I was asking Jonathan was, hey, like, what did you think of Holathon? What are your thoughts? And let's just jump into a discussion on it. So, Jonathan, do you want to lead it real quick?
let's get into it. And you know what? It's like the Holathon curse. So maybe we're not allowed to talk about it anymore. You know,
Guess not.
it's
Dude, right?
Auto T has come back. I am Auto T to destroy your internet.
I have to check
Yeah,
my phone to make
exactly.
sure Trevor's not in my DMs yelling at me. Like, I heard you.
So ultimately, what I was gonna say about it is just like there's a lot, right? So the way Holathon was intended to be was, you know, a big release, a big event, right? It's like it's a big deal. Like we're trying to have this like awesome thing. It's not just Ninja Turtles, right? There's other things coming along, and with the timed releases online, it's supposed to be every Friday. So you got 4 weeks of stuff coming at you. It's supposed to be exciting. Like, what's next? What's next? But then a week early, as it goes, same thing what happened at Fall Geek Out. Everybody just starts seeing it all. It's like, whoa, look
Right.
at all this stuff that's out. It's like, well, it's not even supposed to all be out yet. So we get this overwhelming sensation of tons of stuff, tons of money, over $600, especially if you get a Spider Gremlin. Like, forget it. You're just stacking all this stuff, and it's just like, I can't afford it. It's intense. It's just supposed to be broken up. And not everybody collects everything, right? Like, I am really picky. I buy a lot of stuff to review, but I have friends that take those things on. I sometimes give things to my like close friends here, like Robin Hood. Gross. But with all of this stuff, like, you know, it's not designed on their end to be this like overwhelming, ha ha ha, you guys got to pay so much money. It's an awful experience with Target and all this stuff. Like, in a perfect world, this is what would happen. They would announce it. All kinds of stuff. You don't know what's coming. Awesome. This is exciting. What could it be? Maybe it's finally Space Adventure Donatello that I want really bad.
Oh my God, cannot wait. Cannot wait for that.
Yeah. So we have Target and NECA, and a lot of people don't know that there's a third-party vendor in between them, and that's how that stuff gets put on the shelf. So those vendors, like in all of my stores around me, don't exist. The stuff sits back there in boxes, and nobody wants to touch it. It's a struggle to find somebody that's willing to go back there and be like, yeah, all right, let's see what we got. And then it comes out every Friday, timed street dates. Now the websites did say that it would come stores early, like the 28th or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
26th with a setup date by the 28th, I think. That's what it was.
Right. But then that's still, even the store that is near it has a vendor. She wasn't going to come in until Friday, which was the big online release. So it's like, well, this is all just made up. So it causes this like frustration for everybody, right? We're all like, we got the fear of missing out kind of thing. And it's just like, man, especially those accessory sets. But
yeah, tell me about it.
long story long, this is classic for me. It's nice to be in a long form format so I can actually get this stuff out. But the $600 and some that we're all like feeling at once is not what it was intended by. And of course, NECA business is a business. They have things they need to do, but I don't see them as like this as being a laughing thing on their end or any of that. Like, if without us, obviously they're in trouble, right? So, and it's not their fault if we have budgets, right? Some people can afford like one figure a week or a couple a month or something, and others can afford to do the $600 and some. And like we see some of those posts, they spend $2,000 because they take everything that's available.
Right, and doubles.
Yeah, exactly. And it's for friends. I am part of a collector community, and I still only take one of everything. If it like this, when I've actually found all this stuff, I didn't take two. There were two accessory sets, but I was like, no, I'm only gonna take one of what I think people need, and then I like split it up along all the friends that needed stuff. And it was just like, you guys, like, please nobody say take everything. You know, like when I'm who needs? Let's split it up and, you know, breadcrumbs for everybody.
Yeah.
But I saw a lot of comments, and a lot of people were upset about that, spending that amount, and like, how dare they, and like really mad at NECA. And it's like, it's not, well, like the mean thing is to say here, it's not their fault if that you have a budget, right? That's just like the straight facts. They don't know what your budget is either, you know? So it was supposed to be this fun celebration of, look at all these great items across 4 weeks where it's exciting. What's next? What's next? And then, you know, we won't get into it for international sellers or buyers, which I always feel bad for.
Well, to that, at least they were very kind. They started refunding people that they overcharged on shipping. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh.
Yeah, they got emails like 2 days. Yeah, Friday. Yep.
Wow. That's awesome. Because like on my channel, people would say like, oh, you know, it's going to grab this, like the accessories or something. And then it was like $99 for shipping.
Yeah.
And it's just like, forget it, you know, just go to AliExpress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. At that point, you might as well. And I'm someone, I've mentioned it in a couple episodes. I have a friend, Luigi, who lives in Germany, and I buy for him. And I am not even joking. A Turtles in Disguise set. I found him one locally back when they were redropping at stores. Oh no, actually the first drop, $250 to ship that one box to Germany. I'm not even making that up. Thankfully, Pirate Ship, I don't know if you're familiar with Pirate Ship, that's like what I ship everything through. It allows you to get the business pricing on it, $75. Still a lot of money for that.
Right.
But like,
big difference. You
know, yeah, and like people have to put that like into perspective. I sent my buddy Dave, who is the TMNT collector. He lives in Ontario, Canada. I'm in New York. He is literally 3 hours to the west of me. I sent him a movie foot soldier, just a movie foot soldier as a custom I did, and it cost me $18 just to send it three hours west. You know, like, you know, and it's like, it's crazy. Yeah, the shipping is insane. I feel so bad for a lot of them, but you know, at the end of the day, like, we can still kind of do that too. Puerto Rico is in the same position, Jonathan. I don't know if you know of anybody in Puerto Rico, but we have a couple of group members in Puerto Rico, and they were like, I really want to order, but like, look at the shipping. They're screenshotting it. They're like, this is absurd. And I could ship it to Puerto Rico for 1/3 the price because it's a U.S. territory, but all of them ended up having to ship it to a family member that lives in like Florida to get it down there. So, man, it's
stupid, man.
Hurts.
Yeah, I literally have one of these magnets and one of these stickers, and it was gonna upside down. It was gonna cost, what was it, $18 to go to Canada?
Dude, nuts.
It was 2 ounces or something.
Yeah, Dave wants. I made I 3D printed a a party wagon that's about the same size as the Super 7 one, and he wants that, and I was gonna send it to him, and I was like, well, I'll sell it to you for $100. That's how much I put into it in like 3D printing plastic, and just to ship that to Canada, it's gonna be like $120 by itself. So
Wow.
I was like, I'll meet you in Buffalo, buddy. Well, next time we're like Niagara Falls area, like let's meet up. I'll cross the border. Nuts. But I rose my hand when it comes down to like clearing off shelves. I am super guilty of that, man. I used to do that, and that's not in a conceited way. That's how people came to know me in the community a little over a year ago, is because I was always buying and selling at retail for everyone. And this time around, I only did it with one extra accessory set. I sent it to Manny in the group, Manuel Roman, who's one of our admins in the party wagon. He'd asked me if I can grab him one. I have 4 stores locally that all got everything. I got 2 from one store, and I got them to pull it from the back room for me so that we can, so I can get the stuff. But I'm guilty of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's different too. I think when you specifically like this thing already go into this person, but part of me was just like, I mean, the guy literally brought a whole Target red cart out from the back, and he just started opening these things and stuff, and he was super nice, and like that is like the biggest key when going in and being like, you guys don't have a vendor, and like, oh, gosh, it'd be nice if you could help me.
Yeah.
But he's like, it's just because you were so nice, I don't mind doing this. And so they were all fresh, anything I could have wanted, doubles, at least some triples. And I was like, yeah, because he was talking about people coming in and asking before me, like over the weekend or whatever. And I was like, it's going to be here for them. I appreciate this guy doing this work and stuff. And they're just hot items. But yeah, if I knew specifically that like this best friend needed it, this friend needed it, like Manny, like you have this, it's like, obviously I'm just getting it for that scenario. So I think that's totally okay. It's the stuff there was a guy on Reddit that just got his downvoted into oblivion.
Yeah, I think
just
I'm actually
stacks.
I'm gonna go run into the corner and cry now, because
How did you buy, Steven?
I bought 2 of everything, and then the gangs, I bought 3, all for myself. But I don't flip it.
Right,
Yeah,
you are an inbox and out of box collector. Is that
exactly,
what it is? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
one to rock and one to stock, baby.
yeah, exactly. So that's what I had to do.
Yeah.
Because I
Well,
have
that's
this
different.
right. I have this paranoia, because what happens if I get an earthquake or something and my figures break? I want to be able to have them readily available for me to open up.
I got a broken one right here. I had to glue. This is the one that fell off my shelf, and I had to glue his foot back on.
Right. And then here's the thing. It's not like I'm taking the boxes and say, hey, give me $200 for this accessory set. I'm not doing that, right?
Right.
So
Yeah,
I can
right.
understand where people would get frustrated with that. But
Yeah.
personally, for me, I collect them. So
Right.
I get why people hate me for that, but it's okay. I'll live with it.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're not flipping stuff, like at the end of the day, I don't care. Stuff is going to people like that want it, and everybody's doing the retail plus shipping stuff. Like, yeah, we are all helping. Like, we're all that person at that point, right?
Yeah.
Like, what Gary's doing, grabbing 2 things, he already knows this is going. It's the same thing. Manny would just be in the other store doing it and sending it to Gary. So it's like,
Yeah.
Right.
robbing
we
from
all- we
Peter
all
to
have
pay
our-
Paul or whatever.
Yeah. We all have our
See-
accountability buddy.
Right. So I can understand where it's frustrating for the person that looked after me, or right after me, saying, "Hey, where's this stuff?" And someone's gonna say, "Oh, the guy in front of you took it, all of it, or couldn't find it because they think it wasn't stocked," and they're gonna keep on going back. Yes, I do feel bad for that. But sometimes you just got to be selfish, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the day, they're toys, and when people get like real fired up about this stuff, like I just get to a point where I'm like, come on, dudes, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
We all want it. We've got whatever it is that's in our brain that tells us we need to have this piece of plastic.
I know.
But
right?
at the end of the day, like,
Yeah, exactly.
it's a toy.
Yeah. I mean,
let's not
and
get too worked up.
It's always good to pay it forward too. So back before everybody jumped into this stuff, I was hunting, and I don't know if you guys remember this, but NECA used to have like it was just like a green Ninja Turtle style like flyer, and it would say who was coming out when, and it would be like Friday, June 19th, 2020. It's like the Bastion, Bastion slashed, and then like Casey Jones was coming out, and like I would rush to my local Target on that Friday to grab that figure, and they would always bring the box out, and that's when they only used to send like 1 or 2 per store, and I went in to get 2, and I ran into this guy named Mike, and I wanted both of them because I just wanted one for customs, and we ended up, and it was like, you know what, you can have one, I'll take one, and we'll go from there. Same thing happened with April O'Neil. Now we're friends. Now he finds me shit, and he lives an hour and a half north, and I find him shit. And, we let each other know what's going on. It's like, yeah, sometimes you really want to get that stuff, and like, maybe fuck that guy that's next in line sometimes, right? But if you pay it forwards, I'm always about building bridges, and for me, it's always helped out. And like to what you said, Jonathan, about like being nice. So Steven got his on a Thursday, right? Or was it a Wednesday?
Wednesday.
So without giving out locations, so Steven and another member in the admin team, Justin, both live in Illinois. They're not in the same area, but they're kind of in the same area.
Yeah.
And they got their stuff on Wednesday. And I was like, for me, I was like, shit. Like FOMO, it wasn't even like FOMO. Like I knew I was going to get it because I'm friends with one of the local reps for NECA or whatever company they're under. And I was so hyped. And I was like, well, I'm going to get it regardless. And then it just turned into just jealousy. It wasn't even FOMO. I was like, shit, I want to get these now because now my friends have them, and I like to get them early so I can review them on the group. And like, it's like, yeah, maybe kind of get some clout. It's kind of fun at the same time. But I like doing my hot takes. I don't know if you ever watch one of my like live, just open it up and see what the hell happens, see how it is. I've actually broken figures on that before, but that's like. For me, that's the excitement. That's the fun. To hunt it, get it, and being able to show everybody it right away, and so they can see a review. Mm-hmm. And I don't put it on YouTube or anything like that. For me, because we don't really have that channel or that platform. But I just like to do it for fun. And then so like, man, I was so jealous. And then Steven was like on a Friday, he goes, Gary, I feel like you're gonna get him today. And I went into a Target. And mind you, my Targets, I don't have my ins anymore. I don't know if you didn't know this because this is our first time meeting, actually. But I used to have ins in Target, and they always texted me when shit would come in. I was always psyched, and they'd always make sure I got first dibs on it. Well, I don't have that anymore. So I went to one of my local ones, brand new dude, and he goes, listen, I know, we're not allowed to go through the boxes. We get in trouble, the reps or whatever. I was like, are you sure about that? Like, and we were just like joking and just having fun. And I got my Bull Airs like Ninja Turtles jacket on, and like he knows that I'm not like a weirdo. He knows I'm there for turtles. He ends up going over to someone. I go, do you know when the rep's coming in by chance? Like, just so I can kind of know. Normally she comes in on Thursdays, and this is a different rep, not the one that I know locally. My friend Kim, I've known for 20 years. She does it, and she's like, well, let me go ask Danielle. There's a girl named Danielle who I grew up with. And he's like, Danielle, do you know what's going on? She goes, I don't know. She's on vacation. She comes in wherever the hell she feels like it. What do you want? And I was like, I'm looking for this stuff that's supposed to go out. She goes, do you know exactly what you want? And I said, yeah. She goes, all right, it's in the back. I'll be right back. She wheeled up 3 giant boxes. She goes, just tell me when you're done, and I'll just move, and I'll bring it all back. And that's what I did. I went through, and I need this, and I was just piecing it out. And then we just ended up connecting with the guy in the back, and he's a huge Godzilla fan, and trying to get him to come to like local conventions that I'm part of and everything like that. He's really excited, and just kind of build that bridge. And it was just having fun and talking. Like I wasn't like mad that they wouldn't let me in, and I wasn't being a dick to them because they were like, well, I know that you can actually open up those boxes. Because I go in the back room every once in a while. They let me in back rooms, which is really not supposed to happen.
No. Yeah, that's an OSHA violation.
I'm the NECA ambassador at a store, and they don't have a NECA rep at one of my other stores that I'm the ambassador at, so they have me stock the shelf. So I go out back and get the boxes, and I do it. Steven knows. I've sent him photos. I'm like, boys, I've infiltrated the back room, and I'll take photos.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Even though it's really not that big of a deal, but it is. It's like, should I be doing this? But yeah.
But it's the thrill of the hunt, man. It's really just like that. You get that dopamine hit when you see it. Like I'm an adult, and like they wheeled up those 3 boxes, and I saw like a Chakahachi at the top of it. Mind you, my Chakahachi was broken out of the box. Fucking great. My very last figure I unboxed broken. But I was like almost in tears. I was just so elated and happy. I was like, oh, thank God, I don't have to like hunt these down for the next 3 weeks. And it's like that's the fun in it. Now the fun is me doing the redrop, trying to find more accessory sets for other people in the group. Like that's the new high. And I did it today. I went to 2 targets today. I went to 1 yesterday, and no one will take it out of the back for me. So
yeah, exactly. I did that for another member in our group too. Was able to score 1 on Friday. Yeah, Friday, and I shipped it to him within the hour.
Yeah,
and he was very thankful for it. So because he didn't have it, he needed it.
Yeah, Gary, like you said, it's that other, there's something about like doing kind things for people that like makes you feel good. It's just like whatever that is in our dumb animal brains, we love it. So yeah, it's nice being connected and part of these like full communities where you can like send it to California or in Europe or something. It's like, yeah, if you can help some people, it's like, yeah, that's nice. That's a good feeling.
Somebody right before this call earlier today, someone named Carlos. I've never talked to him. I recognize the name. Goes, hey Gary, I have an extra accessory set. Do you know anybody that's looking for one? Retail plus ship. And my buddy Orlando, who's local to me, he lives 2 minutes down the street, is one of the guys I've been I always buy stuff. Like I picked him up a black and white Usagi, and I always pick him up stuff that he's missing. And he was looking for an accessory set, so I've been looking for that. And I was like, my buddy needs one right away, so I made a group chat, and I was like, hey, I found you one, bud. You need it? And he was like, yes, like across the whole screen, all caps. And he was so hyped. So like, yeah, the community's awesome, and. But someone's going to see this and going to be like mad about it. That's the other part that bugs me. It's like, well, that person that bought that extra one should have left it for someone else. Well, it's like, maybe he bought it, it was, and he opened
endless.
it, maybe he bought it for an extra so he could have it. And then he changed his mind. Maybe he came into financial hardships. Who the hell knows? But, it's sick. And like, and to touch upon your money thing, with all how much money we all had to drop on that. The Holathon. I know you said you picked and chose, right? You didn't buy everything all once.
So I bought it when I first went out. I got lucky. A guy had a Sulaco tattoo down his arm. I was like, aliens? He's like, oh, how'd you know? So we were talking a little bit, and then he went in the back and was like, all right, I'll see what I can find. And he brought out just like a couple things, and I was like, oh, great, it's better than zero. So I only got like a few things that weekend, and then the following Monday, that's when I hit the jackpot, and the guy like brought everything out. So I had a couple extras, like essentially doubles at that point, and I was like, I already know everybody's obsessed trying to find this stuff. So everything that I bought went to people. The first stuff that I got, and then like my friend Frosty Reviews over on Twitter helps me with a lot of the stuff. So she's sent stuff directly to me to review, and in this case I was like, hey, I found all this stuff, and she's like, I'm happy to take it all. So I had a bunch of stuff held for her specifically. The other stuff I was able to get out to everybody else. So everything is going back to her. But then I rebought Rex 1 because I loved it so much and missed it after I sent it back to her. So that, out of all of this, is the only thing so far that I am, and the accessories that I am keeping for myself. So that was the longest answer to just go.
No, I mean, that makes sense.
I am picky.
Yeah, it feels good to be picky. I mean, have you ever seen my wall? I've shown it off on the podcast a little bit. Pardon the jank to everybody who's about to watch, but like, this is my part of my wall. You can kind of see the wall of shit. There's a lot there.
Yeah.
I'm like compulsive. It's almost like if I know it's out, I need it on my shelf.
Yeah.
Like it's just what, and it's like I'm not even gonna like, and I always buy doubles, and I open them because I want one that like looks nice on my shelf, and then I want one to play with. And like Rex 1, I pulled Rex 1 out yesterday, and he's in like this pose, and I put his arm up like this, and I was like, oh, let me move it again, and it's like not moving, and I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to buy another one of these just because I feel like I'm gonna break this damn thing. And like that's how my brain works. So like I have doubles and triples up there of just a lot of figures. Like there's like 2 Baxter Stockmans in different poses, just dumb things. So it gets expensive. And like to my answer, I bought everything, all like $700, and I put on a credit card because I was like, I just got my tax returns, and I just put like a huge lump sum on my credit card, and I was like, do I want to take money out of my bank account, or I just want to forget about it for a little bit and put on my credit card? That's what I did. I just swiped the credit card, and I was like, we'll worry about it another day.
Yeah, man, that's definitely that's tough because the animation line is just like endless at this point.
So much.
Basically, what we see in my videos, what we're seeing right now, this is the space I get. I'm just in a 2-bedroom apartment. I don't have the space to be like going crazy. I'm just like, I think about this all the time. I'll see stuff that I just think is like the baby turtles. I'm like, that's just cute as hell, and I want it. But then I don't buy stuff, and I'm just like, I would own so much stuff if I could just do it. Just buy what I like. Just go for it, you know? Like, no limit. But space has probably helped me conserve money and stuff. But I think it also helps me with my reviews because I'm like, I'm not going to keep stuff that I don't really totally love.
Yeah, like that really big Cloud Strife figure you had with the motorcycle. That's a big old baby.
Yes, I love that. That was another friend that sent that to me to review. That was like a total surprise. I didn't know he was sending that. But
yeah,
that thing is gorgeous.
Kai.
Yeah, they're fantastic. I can't do this. There, right there.
I did Play Arts
Lightning
Kai
and
like the early 2010s. I fell down that rabbit hole pretty hard.
Yeah, it's brutal. But yeah, that bike really wouldn't even have space here. But yeah, this is just like the stuff I love the most. And at this point, I don't even really care about Marvel Legends. I just have these things because the VHS boxes.
Yeah.
And then I love the retro card backs, so I have a couple stuff like the Gambit and the Rogue. But I'm like, oh God, I'm just like over Hasbro.
Yeah, I have a love-hate with Hasbro. I'm not a huge Marvel guy, but Steven knows that. I mean, Steven knows about my bitching about it. It's those damn thigh cuts that it's like, I can't do it, man. Oh.
The circle stuff or like the
line
across?
The line across where it breaks up the sculpt. Because like you have like a badass looking like Thor, and then you try to put him in a cool position, but all of a sudden, for some reason, his thigh is like now split in half, and it's like, what? No, it bothers me. I like the in the thigh like NECA does, where you can got that thigh swivel. Like, it's great because at no point do we need to turn their legs 180 degrees. So drives me nuts. But yeah, I definitely hear that, man. I used to collect everything and everything. Like, I could just be like, or anything and everything. What the fuck? Everything and everything. Anything and everything, just because I really liked collecting just the sculpts of things. And then Turtles got so out of hand, I had to drop everything and just focus on Turtles.
Yeah, that's smart, man. It's something. What I also want to know what the heck it is about Ninja Turtles that has hit so many people so hard, where we're like, we got to have it all.
Right.
I don't understand it. Like, they're freaking turtles, right? Like, if an alien race came down, they'd be like, what is wrong with these people? They're taking their animals and making them like people.
Yeah.
But
for me, it's a
love
childhood love. That's why, that's the main reason. It's just because that's the one thing that was always there whenever I had a problem, or when I played with friends, or just with anything. Everything always revolved around the Turtles. So now when I'm grown up, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm just going to start collecting Turtles.
Yeah.
This is the love I had for them.
Yeah, I had plastic totes full of stuff.
Yeah.
Good days.
I had a lot. Then my grandmother said that she was donating them when I was a teenager because I grew out of them. And very few made it. The only ones that I know off the top of my head that I still have from my childhood is that skateboarding Mikey with all the protective gear on, and the dinosaur one where it was Michelangelo with the Triceratops. I had like just that caveman Mikey, just base.
That's awesome.
All I can remember that I kept. But I was really the skateboarding, so like I was putting them on skateboards and launching them into the air and exploding. So like they figured it was time to get rid of them. I'm still mad about it. But
I do want to. I have to give a very important shout out to my friend Moscato Bot Collects. It's another channel on here. He found me in the days of last year. That's a weird way to say that. He found me sometime last year and was like, "Hey man, great stuff, whatever. Come join us over on Twitter." And I was like, "I don't really use Twitter." So I created an account, I joined, and then the hashtag CHC, or Collectors Helping Collectors, he just like brought me into this group, and it has been one of the greatest like groups to ever be a part of. And I just want to like thank him, like, out here onto the internet. But I wouldn't even probably be halfway where I'm at without that guy. So great appreciation for that.
Yeah, there's some great like secretive groups out there like that. Help.
Yeah. But it's a whole lot of that. Like everybody, and Twitter is a great place for it because you just can like send pictures and all that stuff. So everybody's like doing like daily runs to like Targets and Walmarts, just snapping pictures. Anybody need anything? And everybody's just helping each other. It's great. Yep. But a lot of really kind people, and we talked at the top of the show about kindness, like talking to the Target employees and being kind and all that stuff. And this whole experience being on YouTube with this channel, because I used to have one around space and science and stuff, and that is not a safe, comfortable, rewarding place. Like, people are just crazy. There's like people that don't believe in dinosaurs, people that think we're in a dome and all that stuff. So it's just like a lot of hateful comments and things, where this community on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, a little bit, I've only been over there a little bit, it's just incredibly rewarding. The kindness has just gotten me into this, like, especially last few weeks, I've just been on this like kindness high, I guess you could say, where that's like all I want to do is like dish out more kindness and just like give, because it's so like give and take. And so anybody that's watching this that is familiar with my channel or whatever, thank you all, because like the joy that I get out of this and the comments and stuff from people is just incredibly rewarding.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's fun, right? Like, it's fun. You look forward to doing it. When you can definitely tell. Steven can agree. That's how the Party Wagon grew so big. It's grew so quickly. Actually, it's because we had fun doing it. When you look forward to doing it, it definitely hits a different tone. I mean, the past couple weeks have been a nightmare for me. I have not had fun with anything, but you can tell when people are enjoying themselves. When I watch your videos, you can tell like you're just like yourself. You just go into it and you just like what you're doing. And like when you always, my favorite thing that you do, and it's so goddamn funny to me, is like you'll be talking and you'll make a quip and you'll cut to your face. You're like, like you do like the side of your face, like, and I just fucking lose. I'm like, that's so funny because it's so genuine. Because like you catch yourself in a corny joke and you're just like, and it's corny or something, or you just know it's funny. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that shit's so good.
Thank you.
And thank you, for making videos, on that, and then thanks to the community for like doing what they're doing, so you have the ambition to keep doing it. You know what I mean? Like that helps everybody, including myself, because I look forward to the videos, and it gets to that point where I watch your videos on shit that I don't care about, like things that I would never get, like the what's it like, Homer sitting behind you, Super 7 Homer. I love Super 7 stuff, and I know it's like hit or miss with them, but like I was never gonna buy that. I don't care about the review or the articulation, but I'm like, I just want to see you talk about it because that's funny as hell. Same with Nier, the Mad Hatter. Like, it's just like I love the comedic aspect and I love the informative aspect on both of them. It's just enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, exactly. I like the fact that, Jonathan, you do the reviews also to help people, especially with that little TV. You design something and you're helping out the community, so that's awesome. So thank you.
Thank you. Oh, nice.
Oh, you bet your sweet ass I got him.
Awesome. That makes me really happy. I love seeing that stuff in the wild. And by the way, thank you both. But Gary, like, incredibly kind words. And that it is the ultimate compliment to say that I watch your stuff even if I don't care about the thing that you're reviewing. That is ultimately the goal, is like just come have fun with me, listen to me do weird voices and stuff. I'll be honest, the the most recent video is an unlisted video because it's just a companion how to cut these little VHS boxes for all of the
Oh,
little
yeah.
cassettes and stuff. So I made a whole 30-minute video, and it's still like cut and edited. I'm like trying to keep it entertaining and stuff. But I got so weird in that one. I did so many voices, and I'm doing a lot of the whole like cut the camera thing. And I'm like, this is my favorite video where I'm watching back and laughing at myself. But it's got like 24 views because it's unlisted. Unless you're buying these like pieces of paper to make VHS, you don't know it exists.
Well,
Yeah.
hopefully this is your push to actually make it, make it public, man. Like,
Yeah, you really should.
this shit's fun.
Publicize that.
But it's tough. It's tough. We talked about long form content, and
Yeah.
I've been doing everything I can to try to be around 15 minutes.
Yeah,
The
you have
20
to.
plus ones are just brutal.
Or the algorithm
Yep.
gets you. But I mean, to be completely honest and fair, the only reason I did do this is because of your video showing you cutting them out. You're like, oh, just cut along the dotted lines and they fit perfect. I'm like, well, if they're that goddamn easy, I might as well do it. I did the Walgreens. I did the coupons. Got it from $2 on gloss.
Yeah.
Drove the Walgreens and got them. Yeah. But like a lot of those times too, like, and then I would definitely recommend, maybe Brian Flynn can reach out to you for Super 7, and do, send you things for reviews. I know they do that with Toy Bro, and I'm friends with him on Facebook, and I'm totally blanking out his name, and I feel like an asshole. But he always gets like stuff for review and stuff like that. And before we go, we have less than a minute, so we're actually gonna cut this conversation for like a minute, and we'll be right back because we're trying a new platform to help make sure the audio is good, and we're only in a trial period. We're just gonna be completely clear with you. So we'll be back after this quick cut.
After these messages from our sponsor.
Turtle babies, they're here for Holathon. Turtle babies, can't get them 'cause they're gone. When you want some turtle boys to add to your display, wake up at dawn and get denied, then you can go to eBay. Holla, 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 thon, thon, thon. It's success.
We're back with that quick chop. We were talking about toy reviews and such like that. We probably have video this time. Hopefully all you audio listeners out there are enjoying just the audio of this and not having to watch our stupid faces cut in and out. Anyway, what I was talking about when we did that quick cut was a lot of these times when I'm watching these videos on reviews of things that I wouldn't have bought, I end up buying them. Like I started getting into Mythic Legions because Toy Bro always does Mythic Legion stuff. And I just love, like, this is my only one I bought because they're, like $55-$60, and I don't have room for it, so it sits on my desk. And it's just like, man, it's like I watch all these things, and it's like, man, now I want that in my hands. So it's like it's good promotional. So hopefully one of these days, like, someone starts sending you the stuff on top of that, like Super 7, the review. Brian,
Yeah, so
Brian's nice.
it's a dangerous territory because one, like obviously I just don't have enough like views and subscribers and stuff for any of them to really care. I think I've messaged to ask for that stuff, but it's also probably flooded with just everybody. But I am an honest reviewer too. So if there's ever the stipulation where like Super 7's like, we'll send you stuff, you just have to be like neutral, positive about it. You can't really like dog on it. Then I'll be like, never mind. I'll just buy it and review it because my honesty, I think, is also really important. And I get like comments where people appreciate that, but I wouldn't want to get Robin Hood and then be like, it's really great. Look at how shiny his plastic is. Like, like.
Dude, you took that out of the box, and I audibly just goes, wow, that's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Before you even like touched it, you just like put it on the desk, and I was like, that thing sucks. Like I just knew it looked like bad. It looked bad.
Yeah, not a good first Super 7 item. So that's like my other fears. Like they go and look, and they're like, the only Super 7 he's ever liked is Homer.
Yeah, I got a lot. I have like all the turtles. I'm missing Leatherhead. My Ace Duck is falling over, I guess. And then I got this from a local shop. It just one sits on my desk as well because I don't know where to put it. I don't collect them. I just had store credit, and I was like, I got to spend it on something. So I got.
That's pretty sweet looking though.
Yeah, this is one of the GI Joe figures, the San Diego Comic-Con one. It actually came broken, so that was cool. Right out of the box.
I just had this great idea. Each of you, and I know what I got because it sits on my desk. Grab the biggest piece of crap you've bought, but you still have.
The biggest piece of crap that I bought.
Yeah, maybe it's quality or it's just like a janky thing.
Does it have to be an action figure?
No, I don't guess so. Show me what you got, and then I'll say yes or no. Oh, well, what's so bad about that?
I don't like it. I mean, my signature is like halfway smeared. Like, you can't. Yeah, and then, I don't know. I just was expecting better, I guess.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'd have to go into my closet because I actually have Loot Crate boxes just full of shitty figures that I bought for later kit bashes. Oh, no. You know what?
This is not that, but talking about Judith Hogue. So this is a drawing I did for GalaxyCon here in North Carolina when she was coming, and I gave her a copy and had her sign one, and she was super, super nice.
She's so nice.
Unbelievably nice.
I've said it on another episode. The first time I've ever been starstruck by like somebody. I was we were at Granite State Comic-Con. We got invited by Kevin Eastman and Steve Levine. And we were in the back room after a panel. We were hanging out. It was Tom and I. We were hanging out with Kevin, just talking. Kevin and Ben Bishop, and then all of a sudden Judith walked up and was like, "Oh, hey, long time no see, stranger," to Kevin. And I was like, "Oh my god!" Like she's like right next to me, like, "Oh my god, what do I do?" Like it was just so weird. Yeah, she is an absolute sweetheart. I gave her. She has one of my customs. And
nice.
then Tom just sent her a pair of shoes. She got a custom pair of shoes not too long ago. But unfortunately, her father had passed away. If you haven't noticed, he hasn't been on social media, so she hasn't shown up in a while. But I found a big piece of shit. So I bought this to put with my baby turtles yesterday.
God, look at those legs.
At Ollie's. And
Shake him.
He's metal. He's got like metal pieces. He's got the cute little bat run. And he's got little magnets on his feet, so he can stick to things, which doesn't work.
Oh.
He came with swappable hands, little tiny swappable hands here, and I tried to take off his hand yesterday to do it, and it just absolutely snapped because it's so small that the peg doesn't move. So I immediately broke it. So that's fun. But he's about the size of a baby turtle. He's going to be in one of my future photos. I bought it just for fun.
When you first picked him up, it looked like his legs were just kind of like shaking around like a Super 7 figure. Is that the case?
Not really. They're pretty stiff.
It's just the web video.
Yeah.
So here's mine. We're gonna start with this little guy. This is the best item out of the whole set. But he doesn't stand because his feet are essentially. Feet. He has nothing. They should have just had him sitting down.
What is that? Is that BMO? Is that what he's called?
Yeah, man. But these guys. Jake, his scale doesn't even... I know he changes sizes and stuff, but he should have been little.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Who made those?
You can probably hear this. His legs are absolute crap. They bend in like really weird ways. Some of the joints don't even work. He can't stand, and then his arms are like these like noodle things. So you can't really pose him. And his hand's supposed to be up here, but when you put the sword in there, it just goes...
Just slowly goes down.
So, like, the only way for them to stand is to kind of lean against the corner of where my computer and my desk meet and just kind of nestle in the corner. And I'm like, oh, it was such a nightmare to even get these things, and now I hate them.
Who made those?
I don't even remember the brand. The boxes, so I ordered it on eBay, and it was just some, like, random seller from China, and... They were priced okay, like $24 each or something like that. So it was like pretty close to
not too bad.
A normal price. And it took forever to get them. What I got in the box first, like I get a delivery and the box is like this big. I'm like, this isn't what I ordered. I open it and they're these like random tiny like little cell batteries. And then 2 little black pieces of plastic. I have no idea what they went to. Put it out there on the internet. Nobody knows. And then I'm like messaging the seller, and I'm like, you guys scam me or what? Like, what is this? Why did I receive this? This is the tracking number. And he's like, no, this is your tracking number, and sends me another one. And then like 3 or 4 days later, they actually show up, but they're in a box that's too small for them to be in with their packaging. And they came in like a classic shell packaging, like a retro card back kind of setup. So they're in there, but their edges are all poking out of the box because like the box like rips. They're crushed. It was just destroyed. I was like, what are you guys doing?
Man,
but it was just like, yeah,
sellers are crazy sometimes.
Yeah, that's actually where I got lightning. Why can't I point
Dude, it's so
that's
hard.
Where I got lightning, and it was perfect.
It's so hard. I do that shit all the time. I'm like, it's somewhere around here, because there's just so much on that shelf.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that this is trash, but I bought this at an antique store yesterday. All right, I'm gonna give you guys a hint. It's 1/12 scale. It's vintage, and it's of a character. Who did I buy a toy of?
Steve Urkel.
You bitch! Oh, I sent it to you, you bastard. So I bought this. I bought this full string. It sounds so bad.
I can't hear it.
Yeah, it's really, really bad. Got any cheese? But great
Here, we
condition.
can't hear it.
It's amazing. Do it in post. Add the audio in post. Yeah.
So
it cut that out like background noise.
My buddy said dye his clothes all black, give him death metal face paint and everything, and just have like a death metal Steve Urkel. I don't know. It was $12. I was like, I'm gonna buy it. Whatever.
That's great. That's a great buy, honestly, for $12.
It was just a random thing I
agree.
bought. Well, we had another topic we wanted to touch upon, and we've been talking about this. Is what happens? We just talk about random things. It's just fun. It's great. I know that Jonathan wanted to definitely talk about Mutant Mayhem, which is pretty cool.
Right, we should, but I just only got 10 more minutes, guys. Sorry. So let's talk for 10 more minutes, or you guys can talk without me after 10 minutes.
That's fine. We'll keep you in here, and then John and I will see what we do. Whatever.
Cool, that works.
The trailer came out. The guest of the show, Jonathan. What were your hot off the press thoughts?
It's crap, man, and I'm going to tell you why. Starting with turtles, they're teenagers? No, I loved it. I am super excited. I love the style, and I like that. Obviously, there's like kind of the Spider-Man style that's getting brought in. That movie, groundbreaking, Spider-Man, and it has revolutionized, I think, the way animations go. Like the Dragon Ball superhero. That felt so good to be like all computer generated.
Right.
Really good job on that. They're starting to find that blend where it doesn't really feel like you're watching a 3D movie. So style, love it. They're teenagers, awesome. Finally, first time ever. They're not adults, full grown men, whatever we had with Michael Bay. And my biggest thing about all of this is that it's a new generation, right? Like it's not. This is where we start to get deep with it, man. This isn't made for us. It's made by people our age, younger and older. There's all kinds of older people making this stuff from everywhere. The voice acting, the directing, the actual animators and stuff, storytellers. It's marketed for kids.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. And fuck
Because
everybody
it's
that
made
keeps
by
telling me
these-
it's a cop-out. It's not a cop-out. It's the truth.
Right. It's marketing. They're not stupid. They are hitting a new generation. It's like hitting reset on this entire franchise. Once again, it's not the first time. This is just the first time it's gone straight to a A-list movie or whatever, a big blockbuster potentially, instead of being a TV show.
Right.
So this is a great opportunity for like so many new people to come into the world that we have been obsessed with for 30 plus years, right? Like we looking around our rooms, it's just like turtles everywhere. We have a new generation coming into this potentially. And I want it to be a great movie because it can be inspiring. It can like motivate people. It can just be impressionable, right? So imagine you being a kid, again, falling in love and being here now 30 plus years later. That's who it's marketed for. There's going to be, it's written and directed and created and everything by these older people. So there's still going to be stuff in there that we will enjoy. There might be probably nods to stuff, some Easter egg on the wall or whatever. But it's like a lot of things made for kids. There's going to be humor for the adults because the adults are making it, right? And it's just like, we got to have some fun too. And the parents are going to be there with the kids. And I think for anybody like Steven, you have kids, right?
Yes, 2 of them.
This is a great opportunity for like a bonding moment, but it could be like everlasting, right? Especially if it's a good movie and it makes a big impression for the kids. Like, what a great thing, right? This doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
And then as far as like the biggest topic of April, it's like it shouldn't even like it doesn't even need to be discussed. It's
I
just
agree.
That's what she is now. We have all of our versions in the past. Now we have this version. Great. I hope, she's a great voice actor. I hope they wrote her story and like character well. Like, I'm excited about it. It's no different from every iteration of Splinter has been so different, and I've hated almost all of them except for the original and the movie version. But that's my own problem. I'm just like, I don't like these other versions of him. I really don't like his design in Rise, or his character type. But that wasn't made for me either, right?
Right.
Like, it's made for another generation. That's it. That's all it is. So the biggest thing about all of this, like, there's a lot of people that get mad about it, and it's like rewriting established characters or whatever, and it's like, I've already heard that story. I've already seen that story. I don't need the same thing. Give me something different. This is the problem with Disney taking animated epic movies and then just making live action ones. It's like, who knew that was going to happen? It's like, it's just now in 3D. The exact same thing you've seen 1,000 times, but now with people.
Right.
It's like, I've seen it. Give me Maleficent or something. Give me the thing that like changes my perception of all of it, right? That's playing in that universe, but giving me something new. I still have the old thing because, like, why just copy paste something? So with April, when it comes to like the race thing, which obviously there's a lot of people that have either hidden or very blatant issues with her being black, which blows my mind. I mean, I guess not. I'm from West Virginia, and a lot of people that can't get out of that mindset. But like, at the end of the day, again, they're not making this for like 40-year-old dudes, white dudes. They're making it for kids, and the impact and like change of a young like black girl or any person, that the impact that can have on them is way more than what it needs to be on some 40-year-old white dude, right? Like,
Agreed.
Imagine that a beloved series like that, and I've heard personal stories, I've seen things, like virtual stories of people telling these things where like they just always felt left out because there's no character that looks like them, and maybe they want to do costumes when they're kids and they just don't have that, and they're like, you don't look like that person or whatever. Like, kids are mean and they don't know that they're mean, but it's that impression and then like seeing an icon that, especially if she's like, like powerful or whatever, and just like that kid will grow up and see like herself represented, right?
That's
and I've
right.
just seen and heard these stories way too many times to let some 40-year-old dude be like, it's an established character and blah 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 blah, and I'm just like, whatever, man. It's the same thing with, and it's like, it's an animation. She's not real. She can be whatever. She can be a gecko. Like, it doesn't matter. Or a cat. She was a cat once.
She was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought I saw it somewhere in somebody's room, but that's like, man, more than anything did I want Idris Elba to be James Bond, to be the replacement James Bond.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. He would have crushed it, man. He's such a good actor. And he's like such a good action guy too. But people are like, it's established character and stuff. It's like, It's all made up, and half the time when the creators are like, "Yeah, I'm on board. It's cool."
He's an established character.
Right.
He's just a womanizing secret agent. That's the established character. It could be anybody. You know?
Yeah, like
yeah.
let's look at how many iterations of April are out there where it's like sexualized, right? Like there's drawings and cosplays and like all the stuff where it's like her boobs are out and we've made it sexualized and
Yeah.
stuff, and it's like,
Which we
especially
hate.
the drawing side
I
of
hate
that,
that
it's just like,
Yeah.
God, guys, like this is your problem. This is why you wanted another April or whatever. Like
Right. We
I
actually
didn't want.
we don't allow those pictures in the group in the party wagon. Just
Well, good.
yeah.
It's
it
the
just
worst.
gets weird.
It's the
It's so- it
yeah
just
one,
gets
one of
weird.
one of like the bigger Turtles groups had like an epidemic of that a little couple months ago, where it was like everybody was posting that stuff on the internet. We do, like, on that group, to where like a couple of them I just went like, well, we don't post those over in the party wagon. And then we just got an influx, huge growth, because everybody's like, oh cool, we don't have to deal with that nonsense. Oh my gosh, the
Yeah.
worst. It's like we talk about it in our group chat all the time. It's like we just the incel simps, as you know, we say. It's like it's like, and like Renee Jacobs is in the group, and she's been very vocal that she doesn't like those kinds of photos, and I know this for a
Right.
fact. And and sometimes people will post them in comments and stuff, and like and it's embarrassing, because like she's in the group and she doesn't like that stuff. So like it's like it means a lot to us to like keep that out of the group. Like we're not like we're not prudes when it comes to that. Like we like boobs. I like boobs, but not like that. That's just weird.
Right. Yeah. It's just like, yeah. I think the openness of, yeah, it's strange for sure. But on all those good weird notes, yeah. So end of the day, I'm super excited. I might watch the movie and not like it, but again, it's not made for me. I think I will. I watched the Rise movie, where it's just like, man, all my expectations were blown, because I thought this movie was going to be like Ninja Turtles.
Right.
They all had like mystic powers and stuff. And I was like, this isn't at all what I thought it was going to be. But I enjoyed it. And Ben Schwartz, anything he does is gold.
He was the voice of Sonic, right?
So, yeah. Yeah. He's that's the worst from Parks and Rec. God, John
He's
Ralphio.
funny.
But yeah, I think at the end of the day, I hope it's good and it has like this great impression on a lot of young minds that can come into our world that we've been loving forever.
Agreed.
It's
yeah.
same thing with Metallica when they had Master of Puppets in the episode of Stranger Things, and then people were like, "Oh, all these people that like Master of Puppets are like Metallica now. You're fake because you just like the Stranger Things or whatever." And the way Metallica came out and was like, we get new fans all the time, wherever they come from. We're just excited that people are finding our music. We've been around a long time, and some people don't know us. So whatever outlet that was, we're just happy to have some new fans and celebrate that with
Right.
them. And I'm like, yes, that's what it should be.
Yeah, you don't have to love the newest of the new on things. You can like old things just because you didn't like them when they were, then. I mean, you can't like them now. Not everybody is our age that
Right.
grew up with it.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
Steven's got to drop, right, Steven?
Yeah, unfortunately. Jonathan, I appreciate you being here. We'll definitely do this again soon, so thank you.
Hey, thanks for having me. This is great. I
Yeah,
appreciate
I'm
it.
gonna stay on. We'll keep the conversation going. Everybody say goodbye to Steven. Everybody wave at their monitors or their phones.
See you guys. Thanks again, Jonathan. I'll send you a message soon. So thank you, Gary.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys.
So now it's just us. Now it's just two boys, one podcast.
Now we're getting weird. Oh.
You made a really important thing that I wanted to touch upon when you're talking about the April thing. Because at the end of the day, I'm excited for it. I've talked about, like, I'm excited for. I like the designs. I like the color schemes. Everything about it is really everything about that trailer. I was grinning ear to ear. I didn't like the Donatello voice. That's just me. But we'll talk
lot of
about
people.
that in a little bit. But talking about April, we did see a lot of issues. I went on a huge tirade because I was like so furious with everybody with like their true colors essentially coming out. one person in the group was just like, yeah, I'm homophobic. What about it? And I was like, well, you're out. Like, we don't do that. So with the thing with April is that you're right about the representation. It's an ongoing thing where people don't understand. Like, there's always, and it's going to sound like, well, maybe I have a stigma towards it or, whatever. But a lot of people are like, with cops and black people, right? There's always that, that stereotype, right? When it's really like, it's not, it's actually the opposite. It's usually, it's white people that are more arrested, right? It's people focus on that, right? And people are always like, well, we need to try to help rise up the black community and all this stuff. Well, that really just started at ground level. And what you said is 100%. The representation, if a young black girl sees that, or maybe a young, larger black girl, because let's be real, the new one, right. She's not super thin, she's not hourglass shaped, she's a normal looking human being. She is really representative of a lot of people out there. And if a young kid sees that, they can grow into somebody better because they were able to see that representation. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's key. People don't understand that. I've explained that to people. Like, oh, that's just nonsense. I'm like, no, that's true. That's true. It's how it is. It's because it's a way of, it was like, I wouldn't say oppression, but it is suppression. It's suppression of their growth and creativity. So I'm fine with it. And the other part about it is, like, let's also focus on how weird it is when you really think about it, that these were teenage turtles and they were hanging out with an adult, or the other way around. A grown ass, like 25 to 30-year-old woman was hanging out with these teenagers all the time in the movies and the cartoons. It was kind of weird. Yeah. Them going into doing it as a teenager with them, a high school student in the 2012 series. I didn't watch Rise, admittedly, so I don't know much about it, but I did know they changed her race in that one. But looking into it, like, now, it's like, it makes sense. Like, why would they be hanging out with a news reporter when they're trying to stay low, but they hang out with a person that can give the news about them, So I love it. Right. I really like that they've changed her dynamic, and it's not that news reporter anymore. I'm hyped on that. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, she's like a scientist or something in Rise. And it's like, the occupation really doesn't matter. It's all about, like, the characters and the storytelling. Like, storytelling's key. I mean, I'm also, like, an actor, and, like, without a good story, it's like, I don't want to be a part of a lot of stuff, like in theater or something.
Right.
Story matters, characters matter, giving them something. But yeah, it's like, there's a lot of stigma around news and reporters and, like, fake news, and you can't trust none of the mainstream media, buddy. CNN, more like CN Sin.
I have a faux news sticker. It's the Fox News logo that it says faux news or fake news or some shit like that. I got it right somewhere around here. I randomly acquired it from something, and I was like, that's pretty funny.
But, like, giving her a different occupation also is like what is news? Do people want to probably go for that as a job as often? Like, maybe there's some, like, let's maybe push science more and make her a scientist, and that gives her intrigue into the characters and why does she around? Like, there's reasons why, like, good storytellers will figure out why she needs to be this occupation and not just be, well, let's just change her occupation.
Right.
Just for the hell of it, or to be this or to be that and try to be something modern or whatever. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, you're making a modern movie, you got to be modern characters and modern, like, we're to the point now where, like, Superman as a reporter, stupid. I'll be straight up. Like, I love Henry Cavill, and we could keep getting him as Superman, but him being a reporter is just dumb. It's like, it just doesn't make sense. It's not really that job, and that storytelling in a newspaper just doesn't exist anymore.
Right. I agree. Yeah.
So I think just modernize as much as you can and have some damn fun.
I agree.
They're for kids.
Yeah, that's, change is imminent. You can't stop it. And as people get older and theoretically get wiser, it's easier to poke holes in things, and you got to change it up a little bit. So I definitely agree. The other part I wanted to touch upon was I talked about Donnie, right? I don't like his voice because it's really low. Or really high. It's a young child's voice. But that really goes into have you heard of the fan theory that they're going to turn this into more of like a trilogy? And these child actors are going to grow up with these characters as they actually grow up as well. And then at some point, maybe in a second or third movie, we'll see the showing up of Shredder or other villains, which I think is cool. Have you heard that fan theory?
Just today I think, and I am like, I'm on board. Let's do that. They didn't do it with the actors, but How to Train Your Dragons, they aged the characters up in the movies, and they just got better, as they did that. Because you get to see these, like, with animations like The Simpsons, right? They stay the same forever, so you don't get to see this like character arc or change and like how life has changed Bart Simpson or Lisa to grow into an adult. So seeing that, like How to Train Your Dragons, if we get to see that with the turtles, it's like, wow, not only did the actor change, we get to feel that and see that with their voices and the way they emote verbally. But yeah, and that informs how the characters react to, because it's like, well, we match up the animations to the way they speak. So you get to see this like shift and growth, like Harry Potter and all that stuff. Yeah, I think it's a genius idea if it's what's happening.
I mean, you have a PlayStation 5. They recently just did that with God of War Ragnarok with the actor Sonny. So that's just kind of how it is.
Yeah.
So smart. I mean, it's really cool, but I think it's really neat. And we'll be wrapping this up here soon. We got 10 minutes left on this. For the people that missed it, we were just testing out different things. We're testing this out on Zoom right now, so we're only doing the trial. Discord has just been a pain in our ass this evening. We got started like 40 minutes late. It was just a nightmare. So we're just trying things out. So I apologize to everybody listening and watching, and then Jonathan for us having.
Hey, it's been fun.
If it went perfect, then we wouldn't be having fun with it.
That's right.
But yeah, the growing up is awesome. I like that. I like how it builds. It really builds story. That gives us more content, more consumption as it grows, and that's incredible. There's a lot of people that weren't old enough for the first 1990 movie, and then they ended up like watching Secret of the Ooze or something, and then they got to go back and see that. So that's really cool. But yeah, I like the idea of them growing with it. I like the cast on it. Paul Rudd as Mondo Gecko is going to be incredible. Ray Filet's Post Malone, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely interested in Jackie Chan as Splinter. Like, that's a dream come true. So that's huge. But overall, I'm really excited about it. Some fun. So we're going to be releasing this episode in probably about a week after we've recorded. So a week ago, if you're watching it, but for me, it's tomorrow. We have a huge pitch with, when I say we, specifically Tom, my buddy Tom with Bull Airs. So this is going to be fun news for you. I always love to plug this in. We're doing a pair of shoes for Mutant Mayhem. And I'm really excited about it. And it's just something fun. We'll just leave it at that. And I saw them today, and they're incredible. So.
Oh, man.
It's so cool.
So I have to wait a week for this?
Huh?
I have to wait a week to see this?
No, everybody else will have to wait a week. They can't see anything. Everybody's going to have to wait until the premiere, hopefully, and to see what they look like. Maybe I'll show you a sneak peek after we stop recording.
Yeah.
So, just so huge. So if you're not familiar with Bull Airs, it's my buddy Tom's company. I always talk about him, always plug him because he does some cool things. We're always doing some fun things. We're working on some scratch things right now. Scratch the Cat, which is super cool. But those are awesome. But anyway, back to this. We'll wrap this up because we've been doing this for about 2 hours in real human time. And I gotta splice it all together from all of our mixes. I thank you for doing this with us, man. Like, and huge shout out to Steven who left because his family, his children needed him. Yeah, this is cool.
Families.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. I was saying,
that's the only problem with like doing digital meetings, man. It's just like we were all just like,
yeah.
Oh, is that?
What's on the horizon for Nostalgia Unboxed? What can we look forward to? What are your goals for stuff you want to open up? Anything?
Well, I have a lot of stuff pre-ordered, and it's like some people, like I get these play arts, Kai, I can't point again, and nobody cares. Nobody wants to watch them. I get a Ninja Turtle on there, and it's like, let's go see it.
Yeah.
So I know I have some stuff like Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, if you're familiar with that.
Not at all.
It is like the Studio Ghibli
Okay.
film. It's like one of the first ones, 1984. Good year. Year is born. But it's just beautiful, like 80s style sci-fi animation. But there's God, who is it? I think Bandai actually, or somebody, I don't remember, is making it. A figure of her with her glider, and I've had that thing on pre-order for like 3 or 4 months. It's supposed to come out in April. So that's the thing I'm most looking forward to, but most people probably won't really care.
I mean, maybe Studio, was it Ghibli? Is that how you pronounce it? I'm an anime novice, by the way. Studio Ghibli, like that, people love that shit. And if there's like, I mean, I know it's a really good art style that they have established, or that one guy who like pretty much headed the studio for so long. Yeah, I think people will be psyched on that. So if you're watching this, keep an eye out for that. And if you don't know what Studio Ghibli is, like even if you're not an anime person, like I'm not, the art style, it's impressive.
Yeah, I will say, I think something like this movie is enjoyable for a lot of people. You don't get this like it's not like, oh, I don't watch Naruto, I don't watch anime, I don't know what this Hero Academia, what, huh?
Yeah.
Some dude's good at math or something. It's not. I wouldn't put it in that class of anime. These are just like animated films that are epic, great storytelling. And again, it's like it's got this like just love of movies from the 80s and that like sci-fi weirdness, and it's just like in an animation, it's so good.
Yeah, and I agree with that. That was gonna be my follow-up. It's like, yeah, it's like for me, if I was like think about their animation style, I don't look at it like Dragon Ball Z or anything like that. Like it's not even the same at all. Like in my brain, I'm thinking of like, was it Fievel Goes West, an American Tale? Like, like how beautifully stylized that was back in the day, back at the was it mid to late 80s. That's how their stuff, really translates to me. Because I'm an artist. I do a lot of drawing and all that, so I'm super appreciative of work, and that's incredible. Like the stuff they put out is just bar none some of the best in the industry.
Yeah, oh for sure. All the art that's ever in my videos, when I used to have these big things on my old layout, I had stuff like this. This is all my artwork.
Oh, awesome.
Too.
No shit.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Start doing prints. Start making some prints. People
most
want.
desired one is probably this one. People are always like, where'd you get that? And I'm like, I made it.
So good.
But yeah, I actually now have a store connected to my YouTube channel. So when you're like on my page, you can go to the store tab, or you can underneath the videos, you see that stuff.
Yeah,
but
we'll link
all
it.
my drawing stuff.
I'll link it below. I'll link it down there.
I just did GalaxyCon. I was like, oh man, I think I could do this. I'd love to do this. This should be fun. So for a year, I just started drawing, and then I got enough stuff, and I've done it twice now because COVID really caused some problems. And I'll be there again this year. It's such a blast, man.
Always fun. I did toy photography at one of our local conventions here called Retro Game Con. I do toy photography. Mm-hmm. And I just did a bunch of prints, and I brought them with me to sell.
Yeah, yep. It's great, man.
I sold 0.
No, no, really?
100%, man. They are. I still got some just like sitting. Like I didn't sell any, but I did different sizes for different prices. When I say didn't sell any, I had them for like $1. I was like, here, $1 if you want. An 8x10's $3, and it was super cheap. No one.
Yeah, it is.
But I have them. When I send out toys, when I sell stuff online, I send out customs. I throw them in there.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah. So. Oh man, I'm sorry. That's such a rough experience.
Well, the fun part is I got to do the program flyer for it this year. It was Michelangelo and Skeletor playing arcade machines. It was awesome, and that was so I'm good friends with the person that puts it on. He goes, "You, how much you want for it?" I'm like, "Dude, it's just here. It's fine." And he was like, "Well, would you want a booth?" I'm like, "Sure." So like we had the party wagon. I usually have the party wagon thing hanging out over here because it's just always on my couch. But I made the party wagon banner and just had it hanging up. We were there. I was signing programs and I ended up giving away a bunch of them on the second day because I was like, here you go, just take them, get them out of here.
Oh
was fun.
man, well, it still sounds like a good time, especially I want to see that Skeletor playing arcades.
Oh, dude, it's so fun. But I'll have to send it to you at some point. But we'll wrap this up. If you want us to talk more with Jonathan, bother the hell out of him. We'll do some more of these. I always love talking with other creators. It's just fun as shit. Especially people like Jonathan, who I just have never met up until tonight, like legitimately. Steven talks to him in DMs, but I hadn't. And it makes it easier to talk about things because you're not always talking with someone like Steven and we're always conversing about things. It makes it a lot easier. So if you want us to do this again and he has time, let us know below. I really appreciate it. And I always appreciate you stopping by. And thank you, Jonathan. Nostalgia Unbox. We'll link him down below. Please go check out his reviews. This shit's awesome.
Thank you so much, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. All the technical issues aside, well, even when the cameras are off, we're having fun. So
yeah, 100%.
I loved it. Thank you for having me.
All right, man. Everybody take care.